Yo, man. Yo, she gotta stop, man. She gotta stop.
That's the second or third time she done skipped on us, huh? I know I was a part of one of them.
Listen, nothing was even that deep though. Like, come on, man. What were y'all even laughing about? That
She
the
was
fact
she
that
was she was triggered. And
she knows she's gonna get hot on a debate show. And if anybody that jumps in all the time, they're gonna be bound to be in some smoke. That's regular shit. That's regular. And then the thing about it is, Gunny, the shit that was being said about Gunny yesterday, he ain't get up here on no corny shit. He ain't get up here trying to throw jabs back. But he shared a $10 super chat, and then everybody wanted to give him the business.
What Gunny did do was wear that muscle shirt so y'all can stop calling him bagel thighs.
wait, it's a lot of niggas with broad shoulders and bagel thighs. Fuck is you talking about?
Gunny said, but Gunny said, he said he not fat, but it's crazy how they ran with what Unlikely was saying because they like what Unlikely was saying, right? And Gunny just been doing what he ain't even been saying shit. But you know what got her? Alex ass. Joking with Chief.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
She could take arguing with me. That ain't shit. She do that every day. But y'all two talking about she was on her hero hoops. What is that nigga name? He-Man shit. She done transformed. She got a big ass cat instead of a small ass cat in that house.
I just called it. I said her energy says one of y'all gonna trigger her. And she was like, Hamp's gonna do it. You damn sure did.
Nah, it wasn't me. Ask Abe with the $50 super chat. Shout out to Ask Abe, man. That's wild love. Do you men know / have consistently feminine acting women? No cap, please.
So I'd say it's on the adverse of what. So Love has portrayed more of the, I don't know however we want to word it. I'm just gonna say less feminine acting. She has portrayed more of that than she has the feminine side. I think that a lot of women I know are on the adverse of it. They display more of the feminine side than when they gotta, go on the opposite they do. Is that fair?
That your last, maybe it cut out just for me. Say the last couple sentences.
I'm just saying. So the women I know, I think, are the opposite of what Love portrays, because she tends to portray. I don't know how to word it, but the less feminine side of her, right? And then she want to tap into the feminine side. More women are just naturally given the feminine side and then tap into the more aggressive side. I guess that's the word we could use.
Okay. So yeah, I guess the point of the question was do our women act feminine all the time?
More so than not. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, I think when people see argument, let me ask. When she gets into it, where she starts bringing out a less feminine side, how does it happen? Is she triggered, or is she doing the triggering or a part of the gun? See, because I noticed we joking and we saying, "Oh, Hamp, we're gonna do it," but what did I do?
I don't really remember the situation, but
you triggered her, Hamp. But what makes
but I'm saying you how what? Because
let's say a trigger for her is being cut off while speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you interjected while she was speaking and basically told her to be quiet so that you could make your point, that could be a trigger for her. To you, it could be, well, I was fair enough to allow you to make your points, so now I am speaking.
But in that
piggybacking too from Gunny, so it's now like she's getting doubled up, jumped on.
Oh, yeah. I think that's bullshit. I think in a particular situation, I was talking, and I was talking about the example that we, about the episode back then, and then she jumped in, and then we had a back and forth.
Right. So then, if she jumped in, that's when you're supposed to stop talking, because the trigger now is you jumping back in, because you're interjecting.
What?
But that's how triggers work. I'm just saying.
Okay, I see. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but the thing too is like if you're away, that's how you are, right? Is period. She's a woman who typically operates in a masculine way. So it's gonna come out. Yeah, you can work on it, but when you are emotional, that's when you have the least amount of control. So like who you naturally are is going to come out. To the super chat, the only woman that outside of like my female family members, and that's just because of like just how we are. My wife is like the only feminine woman that I'm around on a regular basis. And then outside of that, it's mostly women that I work with. So the majority of them they're either in leadership roles or they have something to prove, like, you know what I'm saying? So there is a clear like difference. And Isha will tell you, like the way my wife is, she's just, oh, hey, like she's just so lovey-dovey, like all the time. Even when she's triggered, she go sit down. She's gonna sit with herself. Does that mean she won't go off here and there? Possibly. I don't think she's ever even raised her voice at me. You know, I don't think. But if it's in you, it's in you. So whether she's hurt, whether she's sad, whether somebody's disrespecting you, whether it's mad, it's gonna be one way. And that goes back to why when men are pushing on y'all women to start addressing y'all femininity, y'all need to start that now. And I hate that, oh, if I'm around a masculine man, it will automatically happen. That's the dumbest thing ever. Ever. Y'all need to work on doing that now in your relationships and when you at work, relationships with your parents, like trying to tap into that divine feminine is something that you have to work at to become. So I just encourage y'all ladies to work on that. Don't wait until you find a man who you want to be with. That's gonna push him away.
Well, what I guess my question is, just so that I'm understanding, what made her response not feminine? Because don't in society believe that women, we will go back and forth. So was that not feminine? Is that now masculine?
Absolutely. You're being argumentative now. You're being argumentative. You're disrupting people. You're about to insult people, right? You pretty much threatened, and even though she ain't threatened Gunny personally, hey, you about to make me, like, you know what I'm saying? What's all of that for? A simple like, okay. And then really when you let's look at what Gunny or him or what they were saying. They weren't raising their voice at her. They weren't calling her out her name. They weren't doing none of those things.
I'm just trying to understand. Thank you, Adrian. Or Mr. White.
Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Call it what it is. Love is the most triggered on the show.
We're not finna have a bash love fest.
I was just getting ready to write that in the chat. Don't sit up here and try to bash her. She's not on here.
We're not gonna do that.
No. Well, so yeah, I think you're not right. You're not wrong, but we're having a conversation, right? And so if somebody leaves, they don't just stifle the conversation at that point either.
Yeah, but she's not here to defend herself either, and I think that's unfair. Maybe
what I'm saying is nobody forced her to leave, though.
I understand that, but then, like Chief said at the beginning of the show, we don't need to be sharing our business outside. So if that's something that we need to talk about as a panelist, then we'll talk about it.
No, this is public conduct.
No, I just don't think we need to be bashing her. I don't like that.
Well, it ain't bashing to talk about a situation that occurred.
I think, Isha, let me know if I'm wrong. I think it's just a matter of just changing the subject because she's not here anymore. We don't need to have a continued 15, 20-minute conversation. She's not here. If she wants to hop back on, that's one thing. But folks said their piece. Now the people in the chat are getting on it. It's over.
Because I can't fade that. Because yesterday they got to talk all the shit they wanted about Gunny. And now he did a little bit of picking, and you're gonna tell him, I'm not gonna talk shit about you how I did yesterday. No, that ain't it. Because if you want to talk shit to the man, he up here now. That don't make no sense to me. So Mr. Britt with the $20 super chat, can't bring Asia back. No, she left. She just bounced.
And my question is too, like, what is it that we're saying that's negative? Like, That's what I don't get. Like and we family, right? Like we cool too, but I don't see what we're saying that's negative. How is that any different from me flip flopping or with Q calling me out or somebody else getting called out? Like how is that any different?
It's a response.
We say Q.
So y'all know, some of y'all know I'm in life coaching, right? So my life coach says event plus response equals outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the response that makes the difference.
Whose response?
What, her response?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody's response for that matter. So like, me and you go back and forth, and we respond, and like the next week we chuckling, or by the end of the show we laughing about it. That makes the difference. Event plus response equals outcome.
Well, you have an event, then it's a thought. They need to throw the thought because you have a thought and the way you view the response, and then you have the outcome.
Well, the event is that there were things happening, some comments were made. You know, she was being picked on a bit, and her response to that is why she's not here right now. To Aisha and Asia's point, to defend herself, even that was her response, was to just tap out.
Right, but the issue is how she perceived it. Right, so what you're saying, I'm with, but the one piece we want to look at is how you view the event, and that's what she needs to work on. And not only her, I'm only using her for this example, but that's anybody. So if something happens, then you have a way you perceive what happens. You can control the way you perceive something, right? So like if me and Hemp having a conversation, let's say Hemp go off on me. How do I perceive that? Am I going to perceive him being disrespectful, or am I going to perceive, okay, he's doing it out of love? Based on my perception of the event, that's going to dictate how I then respond after that. And so that's the piece where we got to hold each other accountable at too, and continue to work on with ourselves. How are we perceiving events, right? So for instance, like Q, we don't get into it as much, but anything you ever told me, I could have perceived it as, yo, she hating, she don't like me, whatever, right? But because of the way I perceive you as, no, Q real. So whatever she is telling me is never coming from a bad place. It's never to try to make it look bad. She's literally just giving her points. And regardless of what she says, she got love for me. Because of that lens that I'm using, that's going to dictate how I respond. So when people are using a faulty lens of looking at situations, we got to check them on that.
Let me read a couple of these real quick. Shanae Fulton with the $5 super chat. Black people come together to make a change so love is not triggered and returns. What? Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Call it what it is. Love is the most trigger on the show. Mike Brown with the $2 super chat. Love is still good for this show, though. Yeah, no doubt.
I honestly think that she got off because she didn't want to display. She was getting upset, and she didn't want to show that behavior on the podcast.
Isha, do you think she was disrespected?
She might have felt disrespected.
I'm asking you, do you think she was disrespected by whatever took place?
I'm going to say no, because we do this, right? And we always say for Wednesday night, you have to have tough skin. So at the end of the day, it's all love. So how can I feel disrespected if y'all my people?
Yeah, we just talking shit. And no, I mean, let me hit this real quick. Omega Green with the $2 super chat. Panel, what is femininity? Can you define it? Real Bravado with the $10 super chat. Oh no, here comes the y'all bashing. Black women can talk ish, that's fair. Black men say something bash shitty. Remember, she the one that said she was acting feminine, just saying. And I think that's the overarching sentiment. Now, I want to make sure we chop this up because I think it's important. So let me share this, and then we'll do some final thoughts. Yeah, see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Asia said what she do for these women. Is it formal? Maybe. Right? But a lot of it may be touch and go. So can we galvanize the troops and bring them here and put them on a podcast? Then she could do that shit with them, and then she could reach. We get what, 1,000 views a video, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Now I could keep going. I mean, I don't know what Alex gonna do about the AIDS rate because that whatever she doing ain't fucking working.
That's not all I do. Thank you very much.
Nigga. But it was that simple, right? And I just said, do it on a larger scale, right? Point blank, period. And I told Alex she ain't doing her shit ain't working because the AIDS rate is skyrocketing. So whatever Alex doing, we need to get another plan. But I literally was just like, hey, yeah, you probably do it with the people you know, but do it on a larger scale and make it a thing. And she said, what? You're right. That's what I was saying, that we ain't doing enough to change the whole community. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I used the word lie, because I'm like, this was a back and forth, like acknowledgement. You know what I mean? So, damn. Do y'all want to answer the question, what is femininity?
That's what I was asking, and then Adrian was, answering it.
You guys should answer it because you guys are always throwing it around.
Well, so feminine is like
feminine.
It's like this nurturing.
Mr. White. Isha, Love is the one that said she was staying in her. Why did you just? We didn't say nothing about femininity tonight.
Previous shows, you guys love feminine women who are more agreeable, women who don't argue back, women who are not doing all of this,
Okay.
Isha, would you agree that what you just labeled our acts of femininity?
I mean, yeah, but I think feminine women still get upset. It's how they handle their anger.
But the way you just let that out with it implied that you disagree with those sentiments in regards to femininity.
No, I was just giving examples of what you guys have already said to us is femininity.
Are those applicable to who you are?
Am I agreeable? I think I am. Do I do this? Yes, the hell I do.
Do you define yourself as a feminine woman?
I believe that I am. I believe that I've created protective barriers, so I act out sometimes, but I'm really soft.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Asia is not. She's not super like duper rowdy. We having these conversations, but But when you, I don't know what is femininity. I don't fucking know, man. Who knows? apparently, everybody think they feminine. Look at Alex yawning on camera. Like this shit is. Come on.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Know your breath smell like halftime. You've been talking for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is that if somebody acts out, I don't know if they should be labeled. Obviously, this is a show, so people are going to get labeled as such, but it is a debate show. The reason why she's so good at it, because she's not afraid to debate, but you can't hop in and out of the woe is me shit. And that's what Real Bravado said. Women can be like, oh, it's too far. But you was calling niggas all types of shit. And if you tell somebody you not trying to call them a bitch, you call them a bitch.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like, so
But yo, you know what else is crazy though? We talk about like how men respond, right? Look at how what Mike do. Oh, let's throw the little love, fun, super chat. Let me throw her 20 just because. I'm like, huh?
He on his Q shit. Every time, Q gets soft when you start talking to the ladies and shit. Damn, man. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. This has been a great show, a bunch of different dynamic topics, and I think that this will give people a little bit more variety for sure for their day in the next couple of weeks, dropping the clips and all that. The podcast will be out on Monday morning at 5 a.m. for your ride to work. And, feel free to subscribe to that for sure on Apple and continue to keep rocking with us, man. I don't really fuck with Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Isha. Final thought.
Shout out to Gunny and the muscle shirt.
Right. I'd be damned.
Never mind. I got jokes, but I'm gonna let it go.
Alex.
Sorry for yawning, y'all. I'm gonna get it together next week, baby. But in regards to time, it's precious. You can't get it back. Be wise with the decisions that you make.
Word. Gunny.
Hey, shout out to the whole panel, specifically Mr. White and Aisha. I hope I said the name right. You guys dropped some super gems tonight, all night. So shout out to you guys.
Word. Q.
Word. Shout out to Gunny's hat. You feel me? I definitely think this was an interesting show. Just to go back to it, I do think that men are wasting their time with certain things in relationship because what y'all want or say y'all want really doesn't seem to exist. I think women who are pursuing men or want to be pursued by men should very much understand you will be one of many. You may be the main chick, but you will be one of many. And I think that doesn't get discussed enough and it doesn't get accepted enough by hetero women. Niggas gonna cheat on you, okay? It doesn't mean that they don't love you.
Word. Chief.
Shout out to the panel. I had a great time tonight, man. I love the way like you ask a question, Hamp, or you post a question, and that shit just goes in 44 different directions. You know what I mean? And it's real dope conversation. But I want to say to those in committed relationships, invest in maybe some monthly, quarterly check-ins. I was watching something one day, and the question was, "How can I love you better?" And I think it's a good conversation starter for people who are serious about keeping their partners happy.
Word. Mr. White.
Yo, men continue to stay in these marriages, man. But let's just switch up how we staying, how we showing up, making sure we're exploring everything that we need to explore. But yeah, we don't leave, so let's not start that trend. Also, too, ladies, work on tapping into your feminine energy, man. Continue to go to therapy like y'all doing. Y'all are fire. I definitely see the growth. Continue to learn and develop, so that you can continue to work on being nurturing and loving and soft and agreeable and compassionate. We rooting for y'all.
Time is super valuable. You can't get it back. It's funny, the product that my company sells is a service. So every day we lose, that's product off the shelf. It ain't like bottles of water, time has a short shelf life. So I think we just want to be considerate of our own time and considerate of others. And I think that morals and values need to change for sure. And I think it starts with men. Promiscuity, we can't champion it. I think monogamy is good unless you can handle really treating and doing what you got to do for more than one woman. I think people get lost in that, thinking it's just about sex, but it's really about duty and responsibility. And so I think it's better together. We all know that the construct of marriage is where most people gain their wealth. You protect your wealth. You can build wealth better with another person. So, but yeah, protect your time for sure, man. Damn, this was dope. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.